Hi, welcome to Loft 801. My name is Diego, and today I'm going to be reviewing Babylon. It was directed by Damien Chazelle and was released in the USA on December 23rd, 2022. It is a film showing the rise and fall of actors and directors as Hollywood evolves. Before I hop into my review, please take a second to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Like, seriously, do it. I'm waiting. Okay. If you didn't leave a like or hit subscribe, hopefully by the end of this video, I can convince you otherwise. Keep in mind, this review will contain spoilers, so continue at your own risk. And lastly, if there's something that you want to see reviewed, don't forget to let me know by leaving a comment so I can get to it. Thank you. We're hopping in 3, 2, 1. The film begins in 1926 and starts with a bang. Manuel Torres is a Mexican immigrant with big dreams, helping at an enormous, drug-fueled, debauched Hollywood party. He meets the ambitious, self-proclaimed actress Nellie Leroy and falls in love with her. There are some other noteworthy celebrities in attendance: cabaret singer Lady Fei Zhu, jazz trumpeter Sidney Palmer, and golden boy Jack Conrad. As the party ends, fate graces Nellie and Manny. She gets an acting role and she kills it, while Manny gets an assistant job with Jack. They each climb ranks in Hollywood and society, with Nellie becoming the poster girl of Hollywood. Unfortunately, change is like Thanos, it is inevitable. Silent films are displaced by sound films. Manny skillfully adapts and becomes a director, while Nellie struggles and tarnishes her reputation with drug use and gambling. Marketing matters, and Sidney Palmer leaves Hollywood after being told to use blackface for a better audience engagement in the South. Stick around until the end of the video to find out how he made the best decision of his life. Golden Boy Jack is also struggling. He knows his popularity has worn its welcome and he struggles to come to terms with it. He doesn't have a stable support system due to multiple failed marriages and his best friend committing suicide. Time continues on and Hollywood begins to clean up and become more posh. This negatively affects the stars of Days Old. Nellie can't fit in with high society and loses her roles and sponsors. Lady Fei Zhu loses work for a perceived lesbian relationship. Jack commits suicide after reading about his faded popularity. It's all really sad to see. The film hits its climax when Nellie begs Manny for help paying off her gambling debts. I feel so bad for Manny because he loves her and chooses to help her. With help from another actor, they gather the money owed and meet with gangster James McKay. James takes them to an underground bacchanal but discovers the money given to him is fake. Manny barely escapes and asks Nellie to get married and flee with him to Mexico. Unfortunately, she breaks my boy's heart and dances away while he gathers their belongings. A montage of newspaper clippings reveals Nellie was killed in a hotel room at age 34. The film ends by jumping to 1952 as Manny returns to California with his wife and young daughter. He visits a local cinema where he views the industry transition from silent film to sound. He's moved to tears as a beautiful compilation of films from the last 100 years plays. He smiles as he realizes he lived his dream. I absolutely love the plot of Babylon. Behind all the vibrant colors, debauchery, and drugs, it's a poetic telling of Hollywood's start. Like Manny, I thought the transition from silent films to sound was beautiful and exciting. It was really cool seeing how it was destined to become the next big thing, but it was unfortunate to see how some actors couldn't survive the change. Babylon is a movie about dreams reached and the importance of loving others more than yourself. This couldn't be any clearer than with Jack's character. His rise was due to the immense love he had for fame and power. Unfortunately, that was also his downfall. Loving only himself, he never experienced true love and had multiple failed marriages. In his final film, his love scene feels ingenuine because he doesn't know what love is. After being mocked for his performance and lost fame, he feels empty and alone. He loved all the wrong things and it left him with nothing. Jack is the embodiment of Babylon and its symbolism. In the Bible, Babylon is described as the city whose citizens wanted to make a name for themselves in defiance of God. Like Jack, their selfishness ultimately led to their downfall. Jack's character is touching to me because we have so many examples of beautiful celebrities and artists that couldn't find love in life. People that place love of material possessions over others and are gone before their time. It's tragic to me because many people will continue to chase those material things and be left with nothing. Babylon serves as a reminder that life is constantly changing and we need to change with it. But we also need to savor the moment. Manny makes this clear by the end of the film. Leading up to it, he is always thinking of the next step. He is thinking of how to succeed and garner more fame and wealth. He's so focused on future results, he doesn't realize how he's hurting and offending others, like Sidney Palmer. It isn't until the end of the film that he realizes how beautiful all the moments he lived were. I love this because it was a message that I needed to hear. I'm constantly thinking about the future and I never feel like I'm in the present. I'm not saying Babylon changed my life or anything like that, but it definitely hit home. On top of all that, the cast was incredible. There was not a single bad performance. Margot Robbie is an absolute star. She plays Nellie perfectly. Carefree, nonchalant, ambitious, selfish, and destructive. She reminds me of Higueros, the confident boy who flew too close to the sun and got burned. Her character was written well and felt real, reminding me of many pop culture celebrities. Brad Pitt was also killer in this. It's kind of crazy because I've never really thought of him as a good actor, but everything that I've seen him in, he's been great. I felt like this role was perfect for Pitt. Knowing about his real life past alcohol addiction adds a sense of authenticity to his character. He does a great job of playing the role of a man who lost it all. Oh, and one final thing, I think it's kind of funny and ironic how he plays the role of a man whose final film was a box office flop. Thanks, Avatar. I also really enjoyed the performance by Tobey Maguire. He was haunting as gangster James McKay. I was on edge the entire time they were at the underground party. He seemed so unhinged and I was happy to see him in this film. Out of all the performances, my favorite actor by far was Diego Calva. And no, it's not because we share the same first name, but he does get bonus points for that. I loved Manny as a character. He felt like someone I could identify with, and it definitely helps that Diego Calva is a Mexican actor. I loved seeing his come up as an immigrant and how he immediately jumped at the opportunities presented to him. He wasn't a shy or lazy guy. He worked hard and manifested his success. I love that for him because there aren't many Latin Americans that make it that far. Also, I do have a soft spot for guys that don't get the girls they love, so he gets bonus points for that too. When it comes to the direction and pace, I have to be honest with you guys, Babylon was a long movie. It ran for 3 hours and 9 minutes. However, I loved every second of it. I was never bored during the movie. It was fast paced when it needed to be. It was slow when it needed to be. It was the right combination of serious, decadent, emotional, chaotic, and controlled. Keeping things lively and moving forward was the music. I couldn't have asked for a better, more frenetic soundtrack. It added to the frenzied partying and to the somber moments. I also really enjoyed the dialogue. It was vulgar, gentle, chaotic, kind, and poetic. One of my favorite lines is when Jack Conrad is told his fame has disappeared, but he will forever be immortalized by the films he made. The cinematography and production design were awesome, especially the production design. Seeing all the behind the scenes of making movies was really eye-opening and exciting for me. I love the chaotic way sets were built and used for film before soundproof lots were created. I love how the movie showed the painstaking process of making movies and how simple mistakes could ruin performances. It felt authentic and genuine. Overall, Babylon is a film that I loved. I found the story engaging. The ever-changing nature of Hollywood and its consumption of actors and artists alike was tragic to me. The writing and performances given made me feel badly for many of the characters. I think I was most saddened by the similarities I see in today's film and television. It's important to love others and realize that high ambitions can lead to loneliness and emptiness. There's much more to life than fame and money. I love the score and soundtrack and how they added to the chaotic nature of the film. They kept me engaged and on the edge of my seat, but they also made me ponder life and my future. The cinematography and production design were beautiful and eye-opening to me. They beautifully painted the evolution of Hollywood. In many ways, Babylon is like a love letter to cinema, and it hit home for me, so I gave it a 9.6 out of 10. The only thing keeping me from giving this movie a 10 out of 10 is an elephant's JK, kind of. This movie was very vulgar and explicit at times that made it a little difficult for me to watch, but if you can look past those things, then I would highly recommend watching this movie. Thank you for listening to my review of Babylon. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to leave a like and hit subscribe. If you did not enjoy the content, thank you for sticking around. I really appreciate it. If you agree or disagree with me, let me know in the comments. I'd love to read what you have to say. Also, if you want to see something reviewed, don't forget to let me know and I'll get to it. Lastly, if you want to see some more from me, you can check out my vlogs linked up above or my podcast, Friends with Benefits. My name is Diego, and I'll see you next time.